Okay, I cannot wait to have this conversation with you because I feel like this has been highly requested for a really long time. And I don't even know why I haven't done an episode on this. Whenever it comes up, I'm like, because people ask me, like, oh, can you help with uterine fibroids? Have you ever worked with clients that had fibroids? And does your programs help with this? If you have a podcast episode on it? And I'm like, I don't have a podcast episode on it. And I don't know why. But that is all changing because here we are doing the damn thing, recording an episode on it, and I'm so excited. So we are talking about uterine fibroids, and we're really going to focus on like the root causes of uterine fibroids because a lot of times people will hear they have fibroids and be like, oh my God, I can't get pregnant. What's going on? I'm going to have to get surgery to remove them. And you can absolutely, well, I want to say, like, disclaimer, I don't know you and your specific situation. So, like, talk to your doctor, talk to whoever you're working with, whatever. But in my experience with clients I've worked with, you can absolutely shrink and or completely get rid of fibroids when you are attacking it at the root level and you have specific nutrition, lifestyle supplementation things in place because you're pretty much just healing what caused it, right? That's what's getting down to the root cause of the issue is. So that's really what we're going to focus on today. So first, let's just dive into 6 different root causes of uterine fibroids, right? How you can get them. So, number one is really excess estrogen, right? And this goes for even if you're like, oh, Corinne, okay, but that's not my root cause because my labs say that my estrogen levels are normal. Just because your estrogen levels are within range, well, first of all, number one, blood work is not always accurate. You have to test your estrogen levels on day 3 of your cycle. If you didn't test it on day 3, they're not going to be accurate. And even if you are doing it on day 3, blood tests are just not an accurate way to see your hormones and to see how they're reacting during the day. It's just like a snapshot in time. So I really do not recommend blood work for hormonal levels. I really recommend a Dutch test, but that's besides the point. That's not the point of this episode. But even if you're like lab work, if you're like you got a Dutch test or whatever, and your estrogen levels come back and they say they're within range, excess estrogen really means that you have too much estrogen in relation to your progesterone levels. So if you have low progesterone, that could still mean you have excess estrogen because estrogen and progesterone work like they balance each other out, like yin and yang. So they need to be in balance with each other in like optimal levels so that they are not, one is not in excess to the other, right? So excess estrogen doesn't always mean it's high on your levels, like on your blood test or on your labs. It just means, that's an excess to your progesterone levels, okay? And fibroids are estrogen sensitive, meaning that this excess estrogen, or again, low progesterone levels, because you don't have good progesterone balance, can trigger these fibroids to grow. Okay. And where does this excess estrogen come from? It's always going back to this different system in your body that can actually cause your estrogen to be out of balance, right? Poor liver detoxification, poor gut function, because that's how you actually like process and get rid of the excess estrogen out of your body, which we're going to talk about. Having too much exposure to xenoestrogens that are like found in endocrine disrupting products like BPA, plastic, fragrances, makeup, pesticides, like all of that stuff. So we're going to get into all of that. But in general, number one, excess estrogen is a really big major root cause cause of uterine fibroids. But then again, we want to go even deeper. Okay, well, what's causing that excess estrogen? And that's what we're going to get into right now, right? So that excess estrogen is kind of a symptom of the deeper layers. But it's important to start here so you understand that your fibroids are estrogen sensitive. So if they are growing, if they are there, if they're big, or if they're just there in general, we know that there's likely an estrogen issue. And now we have to go, okay, well, what is causing me to have excess estrogen and low progesterone, or one or the other? Okay. One of those, number one, is, like I mentioned, poor liver detoxification. Your liver is what processes and metabolizes any excess hormones, toxins, and metabolic waste out of like your liver and into your gut, and your gut is what gets it out of the body, right? So if since your liver is responsible for metabolizing estrogen, if your liver detoxification, whether it's phase 1 or phase 2 liver detox, because we have 2 different like phases of detoxification, if that's sluggish, if it is not like properly able to actually detoxify it out, then your estrogen is going to recirculate back into your body. And that's going to feed your fibroids growing. So if your liver is sluggish, then that's going to be a major issue because you're not going to be able to actually process that out of your body, move it into, well, not out of your body, out of your, out of your bloodstream into your gut and then out of the body through your poop. Okay. So poor liver detox is another, like, is a major root cause of this excess estrogen. And we're going to talk about ways you could support each of these like root causes, but I'm just going to go through these like at the top. Okay. Um, Obviously, like the big hitters, like of course alcohol, like all those things, especially if you have PCOS. This could be a really common thing. People who have PCOS also could sometimes have fibroids. People who have PCOS just tend to have a lower functioning liver, and a lot more um, intentionality has to go into supporting your liver and your gut. I've definitely experienced that with PCOS, and I've seen many of my clients experience the same thing. So anyway, going down rabbit holes, but number one major root cause of why you may have this excess estrogen that's causing these fibroids is poor liver detoxification. Okay. Number two is gut imbalance or estrobolome dysfunction. So, like I mentioned, your liver is what processes and metabolizes that excess hormones as well as metabolic waste and toxins, out of the liver and into the gut. And it's the gut's job now to get it out of the body. So even if your liver is like working great, you're detoxifying everything, everything's on point with your liver, it moves it onto the gut. Liver's like, I did my job, guys. Like, I'm good. I'm chilling now. And now your gut is like jacked up, whether you have dysbiosis, meaning you have too much bad bacteria. You can even have too much good bacteria. You don't want too much of either of things. You want it to be in balance. Maybe you're constipated. Maybe you have SIBO. Maybe you have H. pylori or Candida, or you have any of these things going on in your gut. It's not going to be able to properly like get it out of the body through your poop, so that it is going to recirculate back into the body. And when I said estrobolome dysfunction, the estrobolome is like a collection of gut bacteria that actually help to regulate estrogen. So in your gut, you have this collection of gut bacteria that is specifically for helping regulate estrogen. If your gut bacteria is off, this estrobolome, right, that's the collection of gut bacteria that's specific for estrogen, that is going to cause you to have excess estrogen if this gut bacteria is off, because it's just going to recirculate and reabsorb that estrogen back into the body instead of properly removing it out through your poop. So if you are not pooping 1 to 2 times a day, we're having some problems. Okay. Your estrogen is for sure recirculating back in. And we want those poops to be like a nice banana shape, easy to go within the first 2 hours of waking up, and ideally like afternoon, after lunchtime. Like, you want to have 2 nice bowel movements a day. If you are not like pooping and feeling like fully complete, if you're not pooping every day, or even sometimes just once a day, there's some constipation happening. And even if you're like, no, Corinne, I poop every day, but your poop is off. It's not that nice banana sheep banana shape. Maybe it's like a little like balls, or it's even diarrhea. That's a sign of constipation too sometimes. Like, that's just FYI. But your poop is like, maybe it's too loose, or it's just off. You maybe are having symptoms of bloating, or just other excess estrogen symptoms on top of the, fibroids, of like cramps and things that also go along with gut issues that aren't always connected to the poop. Could be like body rashes, acid reflux, obviously bloating, gas, like really like terrible smelling gas, like things like this. You are going to be reabsorbing and recirculating that estrogen back into your body, and that is going to feed those fibroids more. Okay, so these are the root causes of why this excess estrogen is causing these fibroids. The liver detoxification is number one. Number two is that gut imbalance. And number three is inflammation, which I kind of go this almost hand in hand with the gut, because a lot of times the gut is like, the inflammation can negatively impact the gut. So it all goes together because everything in your body is connected. You already know this. Everything in your body is connected. When one thing improves, everything improves. We can't just spot treat one area, which is why I focus on literally all these areas that we're talking about in the Mind Your Hormones method, which is why it's so impactful for no matter what is going on, because we're literally just like optimizing these systems in your body that affect everything, fibroids included. So anyway, inflammation. So chronic inflammation, whether that is from, a lot of times people have low grade chronic inflammation, and this could like present itself as just feeling like puffy. You could even feel like you need to lose weight, but it's not even weight. It's actually inflammation on your body. This was my experience when I was, what year was this? This was before I like started this real journey back in 2015. I thought I was like so healthy. I'm doing like the Shakeology. I'm working HIIT workouts. I'm going to boot camp, doing all those things. But I felt like, I'm super tiny. I'm 5'1". And I was like, I don't even remember how much I weighed at the time, but I just felt like so uncomfortable in my body. I was like, I don't understand why I'm continuously gaining weight. Nothing is working. It just felt at my PCOS. Did I even know I had PCOS at the time? I don't think I even knew I had PCOS at the time. Okay, if you have not yet done this, this is your sign to do it immediately, okay? I know you are someone who cares so deeply about your overall health, like you're making the changes, you're doing the things, but you might not yet have done this step because maybe it's a little overwhelming for you to actually choose a product that works and that is non-toxic and you don't know where to turn, or you're using some non-toxic household cleaning products, but they're not really working good and you don't love them, or you're like mismatching them together and it's whatever. Like, if you have not yet tried Branch Basics, please try them and thank me later. You are going to be obsessed with them. I have been using them for years and I have never looked back. Thank freaking Lord, because not only do they work so well, but they are so amazing. They don't have any of those like endocrine disrupting toxins that we do not want in our bodies. Specifically, if you're listening to this episode, like this is so important. So what I want you to go check out is their premium starter kit, which they are sponsoring this episode, which I'm so grateful for. And because they are, you're able to get 15% off their premium starter kit. And I want to talk about what's included with that because it's insane, the price just in general for everything that you get. And now you get 15% off on top of it. They not only are like, people think like, oh, it's non-toxic, they're going to be so expensive. Like, they're not at all. And they last so long because what I love about Branch Basics is it comes with a concentrate, which is this like multi-purpose cleaning solution that used for any cleaning job when you are diluting it with water. So like every single different product you get, like the all-purpose cleaning, the bathroom cleaner, the like glass cleaner, the laundry detergent, all of these different things use this concentrate to create these products with a specific amount of water. So all you do, it has on the bottle, it says fill water up to this line, add this amount of concentrate, and then that's it. And the amount of concentrate that you have to use for each one is so small. These bottles of concentrate last forever. And what's amazing is when you run out of, like, you're in the middle of cleaning, you're like, oh my God, I don't have enough. All you do, fill the bottle up with water, add a little bit of concentrate that it tells you the amount to add it, and you have a brand new bottle right in front of you. It is so convenient. I'm obsessed with it. It's eco-friendly because you're not buying a ton of plastic bottles all the time. Like, it's so good. And I recently found a dual purpose of this all-purpose bottle, which is what I usually use for like the countertops, Madison's high chair, like all of that stuff. I didn't realize that it's also for fabric. So it is now my stain remover, and it works better than any stain remover I've ever used, whether it's getting like avocado or sauce off Madison's clothes, or, you know, a stain that I recently found on my pillow. It is unbelievable how good it works. I actually did it just on accident one day because it was near me when I was cleaning Madison had avocado all over her socks. And I'm like, oh my God, I was like, let me just like spray this. I was cleaning the countertop. And I'm like, let me just spray this, just like get something on it, and then I'll get my stain stick after. And it was completely gone. And I'm like, what? Like, and then I read the bottle and it says it's also for fabrics. I'm like, oh, I never realized, but it's so amazing. So whether you're looking for stain removers or you want to overhaul your household cleaning products, you can do it in one foul swoop. Again, the all-purpose cleaning bottle, bathroom cleaner, laundry detergent, even dishwasher tablets. I mean, you don't want to be eating off of toxins. Like, let's be honest. The glass cleaner, like literally everything, get it all at once. 15% off using code Corinne15. The price literally without the discount is so amazing. You're going to be blown away. I'm so excited for you to try this. Thank me later. Please message me and let me know when you switched over because you're going to love them so much. The convenience, the ingredients, like how well they work. You're going to feel so much better and know that you are supporting your overall health, your hormones, your fertility, baby's health, literally everything. So go to branchbasics.com and use code Corinne15, Corinne 15 at checkout for 15% off their premium starter kit. That's branchbasics.com. Use code Corinne15 for 15% off their premium starter kit. You're welcome. I can't wait for you to get them. Anyway, it was as soon as I started changing my diet, changing everything, literally the quote unquote weight fell off because it wasn't actually weight, it was inflammation. So if you're inflamed, you might feel that like uncomfortable in your body. You feel like swollen almost, like you kind of look like swollen, like you're like kind of like blown up like a balloon. Like your hands could feel like swollen a little bit, like your joints can be hurting when you're having these inflammation issues. You can be having digestive issues as well if you have some inflammation, headaches, things like that. But anyway, this low grade chronic inflammation you could be experiencing, again, it's coming from your nutrition, your gut issues, toxins you're exposing to, can make this uterine like environment more susceptible to fibroid growth. Okay. And so even, of course you can get lab work done and get your inflammatory markers checked to see like what's going on with that. But in general, inflammatory like markers can stimulate the production and growth of factors that actually feed into the fibroids. So inflammation is going to add like more fuel to the fibroids that you do have, or just help them come onto the scene in general. Okay. So inflammation is number 3. Number 4 is insulin resistance or blood sugar dysregulation. I mean, if you've been on this if you've listened to maybe even one episode of this podcast, you probably heard me talk of blood sugar regulation, because it is literally connected to every single thing when it comes to your hormones. Well, obviously insulin is a hormone, but when it comes to hormonal balance, your cycle, your energy, your moods, your fertility, everything, fibroids included. So elevated insulin levels will stimulate the ovarian androgen production. Androgen means like your male hormones that everyone has, whether you're female or male. Everyone has male hormones, your testosterone and your DHEA. Okay, those are androgen hormones. So elevated insulin levels will stimulate your ovaries to produce more testosterone, to produce more DHEA, which can indirectly affect your estrogen levels. Okay. And this is why I was saying a lot of people who have PCOS will also have this link to fibroids, because people who have PCOS a root cause of it is insulin resistance and blood sugar dysregulation. Okay. So if you have metabolic issues, inflammation, PCOS, all these things, it is going to lead to some insulin resistance issues, which is why all these are connected. So if you're like, well, Corinne, like I have fibroids. Okay, so is it inflammation for me? Is it this gut imbalance? Is it this liver detoxification? Is it blood sugar dysregulation? It's likely all of it, because you've likely had this going on for a while. And when one thing goes off, it causes a negative domino effect, right? So like, say your like the blood sugar dysregulation is off. Okay, that's eventually going to negatively impact your gut, and that's going to negatively impact your inflammation levels. And it's everything is connected, which is why you could be on the negative side of the domino effect, or you could be on the positive side of it. Okay, we're positively improving one thing, which is then going to positively improve everything else, because it's a positive domino effect. So it's not as important to pinpoint, okay, which root cause do I have? Because everything in your body is connected, and likely you have multiple of these things going on, and some of them might be worse than others, but you likely have multiple of these going on. When I'm working with all my clients, they don't just have blood sugar dysregulation. They don't just have gut issues. They don't just have liver issues. It's like all of these pieces are connected, which is why you have to work on all of it. Okay. And then the last piece is the 5th thing is, which again, talk about all the time, but nutrient and deficiencies and mineral imbalances. Specifically, when we're talking about fibroids, low magnesium, iodine, vitamin D, these minerals and nutrients are most often associated with fibroids. Iodine, especially because it helps regulate estrogen metabolism, supports healthy breast production, uterine tissue, like all these things. But we don't want to just take an iodine supplement. Like, you don't want to do that. You want to really make sure that you're taking a high quality multi or high quality prenatal that has iodine and selenium together, because you need to make sure that you're taking those in proper ratios, because you don't want to have too much of one, too much of the other. They work synergistically together. Okay. So if you are trying to conceive, my favorite prenatal is Needed Prenatal. They have iodine and selenium. Again, you want to make sure that they are in like healthy balance. You don't want to just take too much iodine and take like an iodine supplement on its own. Okay. Just wanted to put that caveat in there. So those are the major root causes, right? Again, uterine fibroids, estrogen, excess estrogen is going to be like the culprit, right? Fibroids are estrogen sensitive, so excess estrogen is going to trigger their growth. But where's that excess estrogen coming from? We can't just go, okay, well, how do I lower estrogen? It's like, well, why do we have this excess estrogen in the first place? Number 1, poor liver detoxification. Number 2, gut imbalance and estrobolome dysfunction. Number 3, inflammation levels. Number 4, insulin resistance or blood sugar dysregulation in general. And number 5, mineral imbalances and nutrient deficiencies. Literally every single one of these root causes is a module in the Mind Your Hormones method. Like, because when this woman reached out, she's like, does your program help with fibroids? I'm like, yes, like 100%. And so you can shrink or get rid of them naturally without surgery. Disclaimer, I don't know you specifically. Check with your doctor. You know the vibe, okay? So I'm going to give you 4 things to just get yourself started with. Ready? Number 1, blood sugar regulation. We always start here. This is always the first step because this is going to give you the most immediate results in how you feel day to day. So it's going to keep you going because you're going to have that confidence. You're going to have that like immediate feedback of like, oh shit, the stuff that I'm working towards, the things that I'm actually doing are working. So let me keep going. Like we need that buy-in. So you see your body respond quickly. You're going to want to keep going. That's one reason why I always start with blood sugar regulation with my clients, but also it's because it's insulin, like we were just talking about before, is a top tier hormone. When your insulin levels are off, it negatively impacts every single other hormone in your body with that domino effect. So we want that to be in check so we can positively impact every single other hormone in our body. So blood sugar regulation, there's so much that goes into it. It's not just about how you're eating. It's not just about not eating sugar. That's like not the vibe at all. It also has to do with your emotional regulation, like literally everything. I have an entire program just on blood sugar regulation. Of course, there's a module in the Mind Your Hormones method as well on blood sugar regulation, but in the Mind Your Hormones method, we go wide, right? We're talking about all these different root causes, these different 5 ones, and specifically what you could do to heal all of these. And then in Balance Your Blood Sugar program on its own, it's just strictly focusing on balancing blood sugar. So we go really deep in that. We'll put the link for both of them in the show notes, obviously, but the first thing I want you to do, if you haven't yet, I have a free training called How to Create Hormone and Blood Sugar Balanced Meals. That's your first step. If you haven't yet done that, please make sure you download that. It's completely free, but it's one of the best things you can do to help regulate your blood sugar. And it's going to make a massive difference with not just fibroids, but with literally every single issue you might be having with your hormones. So start with that free training. We'll put that in the show notes as well. Number 2, get rid of toxic products that you have, whether it's household cleaning products, beauty products, pesticides in your food, like these products that have endocrine disruptors and are adding to that excess estrogen. The products that are not non-toxic, right, that have endocrine disruptors, like your traditional like Windex, Mr. Clean, like MAC makeup and whatever. Like I don't even know what the popular like hair brands are. Like Pantene, people still use that. I don't even know anymore. I haven't been out of this world for so long. Pantene, Herbal Essence, like whatever the fuck. Like though I used to use Pantene, I actually love the way it smelled and it was so toxic as fuck. But anyway, those are things like you got to get rid of those. You have to get rid of those. You have to start cleaning through things and just do it one at a time. When one of your products runs out, just get a better option, right? You can go to ewg.org/skin deep. You could put in the products you're currently using to see the level of toxicity they have and then make a better swap. We have totally free download too of my product recommendations we could put there for you, but that needs to be one of the things that you really, really focus on is not only the products that are on your skin, like your moisturizers, your face wash, your makeup, your shower stuff, your lotions, all that, but also your household cleaning products. You're inhaling that. You're also eating off of the counters and the like plates that are having these like dishwasher tablets and your laundry detergent, like literally everything. Okay. So, so that's number 2. Number 3, and again, it doesn't have to be a huge overhaul. Do it one thing at a time, and eventually you'll have everything turned over, okay? You don't have to throw everything that you have out and start fresh. That's like super overwhelming. That's not the vibe. We don't want to dysregulate our nervous system on the process of this, which is not going to help anything, okay? Number 3 is support that gut, okay? Plenty of water, filtered water with electrolytes, at least 1 packet of electrolytes during the day. So important. My favorites are Live Healthily, LMNT, Instant Hydration. Love all of those. Put the links. I have a code for Live Healthily and LMNT, so we'll put those in the show notes for you. Fiber, making sure everyone's like ODing on protein. Yes, protein is important, but like where's the fiber at? We need fiber for your gut so that your gut can actually mop up this excess estrogen that's causing these fibroids. Why can I speak today? Causing these fibroids. Put it up into nice poop and get it out of your body. Okay. So focus on that water with electrolytes, fiber, high quality probiotic. My favorites are Just Thrive and Gut Personal. Either of those are really amazing. And the Miracle Worker magnesium, like if you're not taking the Miracle Worker magnesium, I'm not sure what you're doing. I'm unsure. And if you're overseas and you can't get access to Gut Personal, for probiotics, Just Thrive, pretty sure they go international. And then when you're looking for a magnesium bisglycinate is what you want. Okay. If you are in the States, Miracle Worker magnesium from Gut Personal is my absolute favorite. It is a must have, especially if you're dealing with any hormonal issues, gut issues. Like it is so incredible. I like do not go a day without it. It's amazing. So highly recommend that for supporting your gut. And then number 4 is reducing inflammation. So eating an anti-inflammatory diet, the whole food diet, we don't want to be ODing on processed foods, a lot of sugar, dairy, gluten, packaged foods, like fast food, obviously. Like, you really want to reduce your inflammation, anti-inflammatory diet, whole food as much as possible, really watching your dairy, sugar, gluten intake, and like having high amounts of omega-3s, like your nuts, your seeds, your olive oil, your avocados, like all of these things. And taking a high quality omega-3 supplement is really supportive as well. I love Needed's omega supplement, which you could use code Corinne Angelica for discount on those, and you could also use code Corinne for Gut Pro. So we'll put all this in the show notes, because I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but I know so many of you struggle with fibroids, and I want to give you these tools to help you so you don't feel like you're backed into a corner and you have to get surgery before even doing these things to see if it can go away naturally. Like, I would highly recommend, before you feel like you're backed into a corner of surgery, please make these changes, and ideally, please go through the Mind Your Hormones method. So not only are you going to be able to shrink these fibroids naturally, but you're also going to be able to regulate your cycle. If your cycle is irregular, get rid of PMS, get rid of cramps, obviously boost your fertility for a strong and healthy pregnancy. Like, please do that first before you even consider doing surgery, because the last thing I want is for you to go and have an unnecessary surgery when you could have supported it naturally. So that's the vibe. Everything we talked about link-wise to like the Gut Personal supplements, the needed supplements, the free training, how to create hormone and blood sugar balance meals will be in there. My product recommendations guide for non-toxic products will be in there. Obviously, the link to the Mind Your Hormones method. I mean, literally step by step, exactly what to do in a strategic order for maximum results is going to be like your best bet. If you're done like trying to figure this shit out on your own, you're like, what do I do first? How do I do it? What else? It's like so dysregulating. Like, open your computer, press play, and just go full ass it. That's how we roll. You could always use code podcast for 10% off. I mean, like, you're welcome. It's so good. You're welcome. Let me know how you love this episode. Please share this with someone who maybe has fibroids, so that they can feel supported in this. I am so grateful for you as always. I will talk to you on the next episode, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for being here. If you loved this episode and learned something valuable, please share it with a friend who you think would also love it, or post it on social media and tag me so I could personally say thank you for helping me spread this important message. I am beyond grateful to be here with you. So until next time, stay intentional, stay consistent, and always mind your hormones.